State College. I'd like to thank Jimmy and FES for having us here today. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our organization. This was a team effort from everybody at the FES Palm Beach State College. And we all just put so much work into it. Late last night, though, we were all sitting around and we were going through this presentation. We said, it has a lot of technical information, a lot of data, which as engineers I'm sure you'll all appreciate. But we didn't want to just say what we did, but also who we are. And so a lot of people received some late calls from me last night, 9 p.m., asking them one very simple question. What is FES, and how is it helping you, and what is this doing for you? And, I'd like to share with you some of the responses. One gentleman, our own Silas, has this to say. I would say that FES has helped motivate me in finishing my personal projects, and has also helped me feel confident about presenting and talking about my ideas on engineering. Crystal weighs in. She says, FES has allowed me to gain a better understanding of what being an engineer is all about. Well, that's nice. Now, my friend Alex had something else interesting. He said that after coming to FES, he was instantly intrigued with what the future held. That FES has helped show him the benefits, or show me the benefits of engineering and the value of teamwork. Now this is good, that we're able to do this, and this is what you guys are doing. This is what FES has given to us. We wouldn't be able to do this without all of your help and support. And first, I just want to say thank you for that. First, I want to talk to you about a little bit about what we're doing for our membership and for the community. As being a part of a state college, it's really been impressed upon us about how much we have to owe to the community, and so part of that has always been about giving back. And so we always do a lot of volunteering projects, and especially working with K through 12. Now, in addition to owing something to our community and wanting to give back to our community, we always feel we need to give back to our members as well. And to do that, we do things like professional building, resume builders, as well as a lot of different group projects and as many different guest speakers as we can find. Now, first on the agenda of things I want to share with you guys is some of the most exciting events we have. Now, this was a very important one. HENAC, it's the Great Minds in STEM Conference. What we were able to do is send 5 or 6 students, or actually I think it was up to 12, and they were able to go out and speak to some of these big names in engineering and really get to know the people, boots on the ground. They were able to speak to people from the CIA, speak to people from Boeing, EMC, Lockheed Martin, and many other different organizations. It was a 3-day event. On Thursday, they did check-in. Right? On Friday, they actually had something called the College Bowl, which they were able to break up students from all around the state and all around the country in different groups and under an advisor from one of these aforementioned organizations. With this leadership, they were able to compete and really get to see how teamwork is in action, how it's done by leadership. On the final day, they were able to do a networking and a career fair. This career fair, at first we were able to do some resume builders, and they were really able to put together a resume as well as they could with a lot of help from them. Now, going back to some of the volunteering we were talking about is one of our favorite events every year. It's called Paint Your Heart Out. What Paint Your Heart Out does is it allows us to give back to that community and doing things like whatever needs to be done. That includes, of course, painting, mowing lawns, or even any type of building things that we're fixing up doors or cabins or whatever needs to be done. So this one I don't need to tell you all too much about. It's our 2012 FES conference. We were able to send 4 people there, and they were able to get to know you. And meeting engineers is so important for us students because it tells us not only what it will be like in the real world, but it also gets us the contacts we're going to vitally need, and possibly internship. As Jimmy previously mentioned, we also did Drop It, Build It, Fly It, Launch It, Thrill It, and this is going to be our second year doing it. Anytime any of our students go out there, they always come back and they say, how exciting it was, how much they benefited from it, and they talked about things like the Build It program, where they're able to watch what different students decide to do, watch their creativity, or the Thrill It program, where they're able to help judge and give back to the community in that way. It's just so much fun for us to be able to go out there and really work with young kids and just see what they have to offer the world, help inspire them to do the best they can. Now, we already talked about some of the things that we've done as far as events and things we've gone out to do. But it's our belief at Palm Beach State College that a big part of learning is doing. Of course you need to watch, but you also need to experience for yourself and make your own mistakes. And it's best to do it at a college level as opposed to when you're working for a big firm, I think. One of the first things we did was the plastic bottle boat. That was one of our first projects, and one of the more interesting ones. What we did, we were inspired by a gentleman in Fiji who, wanting to become more ecologically friendly, helped build a boat out of bottles and PVC pipe. For us, we actually used 500 bottles, both in small water bottles and 5-gallon buckets, and we were able to create a flotation device, or even a boat, a paddle and everything. It was able to hold 3 people, and one of our motifs here at Palm Beach State College is that we always are going to be using renewable materials. Now, part of that is that we really love to give back to the environment. We love to try to help the environment as well as our communities. But another part of it is recycled materials are cheap and they don't cost too much. Now, our second project that was a lot of fun was the hovercraft. Now, some of our projects really do great, exceed expectations. The hovercraft was not one of them. For, in hindsight, very predictable reasons. We were able to get it up, it was able to move, but it did not balance so well, as anyone who has any experience with upper propulsion will tell you. Now, as I said, hovercraft wasn't as good as we could have hoped, but the trebuchet exceeded all expectations. What we wanted to do was build a counterweight launching mechanism for a family fall festival and then launch pumpkins across the football field. It was very interesting, it was a lot of fun, and we actually used a 500-pound counterweight made of concrete, chains, and held together by wood, and launched pumpkins and gallon water bottles, gallon milk jugs, over 150 feet. I think we have a video of it, is that right? That was one of our earlier attempts, and that didn't go out so much as up. And you can see some problems associated with that. And that's the crowd for our family fall fest.
Was that just your FES chapter? Was the fall fest, or just the whole school?
The whole school was doing it, was participating in it, and what they really did is, well, we did the trebuchet, and what happened was there's a lot of different booths and a lot of different events going on, and we let whoever wanted to come see it and see our demonstrations.
I like the hard hats from the launchers.
We learned from the School of Hard Knocks, and I really hope we didn't just freeze up.
Yeah, it just did.
Now we got it. And the kids, you could just tell, loved it. We really had a lot of fun doing them. Again. We're keeping you in suspense. We'll come back and we'll show you the full video at some point. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, now let's talk about some of the current projects we've done. It's very easy to talk about what we've done in the past, but I like to say, that what we're doing today, what we're doing right now, and what we'll hopefully have time for in the future. One of the first projects is keeping up with our recycled materials and renewable materials. Is the bamboo bicycle. The reason we decided to use bamboo as opposed to some other type of wood is that bamboo is not a wood. It's actually one of the fastest growing grasses, and that means that it's very easy to be produced. It actually says it goes 39 inches in a day. Using that type of thing, we could totally revolutionized very cheap bicycle manufacture. We actually ended up using bamboo for the frame and used different parts for it, like tires, handlebars. And we went to bike manufacturers and other shops like that for donations. Now, one of the more advanced projects we decided to go on is steamboats. We wanted to really look into some basic steam engine mechanics and get involved with that a little bit. So what we did is we actually split up into teams, and we had different people try different ideas, and we're going to have them a contest and see who has the best one. We actually had two main projects. The first one being something called a putt-putt boat, which heats water and vaporizes to force it out, and the vacuum pulls water back in. And using that, it propels it along a path. Now, the second, more innovative project, and one I'm very excited to see how it pans out, is a piston steam rower, a rowboat. And it uses 4 steam pistons to row the boat along. And we're very excited to see how that pans out, and that's being headed up by our own Silas. Now, one of our most delicious projects is going to be a solar pizza cooker. We had a lot of different ideas and different plans for how to do it. But in the end, what we're working on is we're going to say it's 4 to 5 pizzas, and we're going to use the sun's rays reflecting off a mirror through a greenhouse, or through a glass to create a greenhouse effect, and heat these pizzas. And we're hoping we can get up to 350 degrees at a time. Now let me tell you a little bit more about Alex, who I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. Alex is a 17-year-old kid. He's dual enrolled in both college and high school, which means he's taking classes in both places. And he wouldn't have had this opportunity. And while being at FES, he's been able to understand things about design, teamwork, right? Working together to build a trebuchet, for example. And now he's even helped taking the lead on some of these steamboat projects. That's an opportunity he wouldn't have had without FES. Now, he doesn't know where he's going to be going to college. If it's going to be a state school, or he's going to go out of state someplace a little bit more prestigious. But wherever he goes, he's going to, wherever internships he has, he's always going to be able to fall back on this, where he had the extra edge of experience building, creating experience with actual engineers. I'll go ahead and pass this on. And so we just wanted to say, thank you to you guys for everything you've done. And the way we want to do that is let you see some of these projects we have in progress now. They'll all be completed for our Earth Day on April 18th. And we should have our solar pizza cooker ready, so we'll be able to give you a little bit of food too. You guys have done so much for us. We really appreciate it. And one of our ways to say thank you also is to give you a chance to ask any questions you might have about our projects.
How did you recock that trebuchet? Was it a pulley system or something?
Yeah, it was a pulley system, and it actually needed a lot of weight too. We needed like 3 or 4 guys pulling on that rope, and we were able to pull it down.
I don't have a question about the project, but I don't know anything about the educational program you're in. So I'd like to hear about what you're learning at the school and where you see you go from there.
Sure. FES is, it's a state college, but it doesn't have any bachelor's degrees to be life, so it's not an engineering bachelor's degree. Most of our students here today are actually transferring this semester, myself included. So many of our students have classes now like physics with Calc 2, physics with Calc 1, and the school is going all the way up to Calc 3 and differential equations. We're excited to be transferring places like UF, FAU, and Georgia Tech.
Well, great. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you. Any other questions I can answer?
So it's a 2-year school?
Palm Beach State College is actually a 4-year school, but it does not have very many bachelor programs. I believe it's just business and nursing. And so what a lot of our local students are doing is they're going and taking their, getting their AA from Palm Beach State College, and then transferring to a upper level school for things like mechanical engineering or chemical. Guys, thank you so much.
The trebuchet, I think that's probably the coolest thing, and I'm looking forward to see it in action. I want to know a little bit more about the background of the design, and did you get into planning, get into any physics, and how long did it take you to actually go through the design process and construction?
Well, FES meets, our chapter meets once a week, or actually not twice a week, but at the time it was only once a week. And we actually had 3 ideas originally. We were thinking about doing a ballista, which is like a giant crossbow. And it wouldn't shoot pumpkins, it would shoot, well, probably arrows or lumber or something of that
Yes,
nature. We'd be sure to clear the field first of anyone we don't like, or of anyone we do
I
like.
think I could probably talk a little bit more about the trebuchet planning process, since I was involved in almost all of that. We did actually, the way we started out was we contacted people from actually like Renaissance festivals who build these things for displays. And at first we were really dead set on doing a tension-based catapult, but we were also a little, say, greedy with how tight we thought we could make things, and we broke about 3 of those. Every time, thicker wood, we just kept wanting to get, because we know we can go farther. But after talking to people, they're like, the trebuchet is probably the simplest design. You're going to get the most height out of it and distance. Because the thing we were worried about was, and mostly our college was worried about, was not so much how far we could shoot the trebuchet, but that we didn't shoot pumpkins onto cars driving down the road behind the school. And so we started out with the trebuchet. We did talk to people from the Renaissance Festival. They suggested some places we could look for designs, where we found a couple of ones that people had already built, with some areas walking us through that way. And I mean, basically we just took that design and put it into what we thought would be easiest for us for that distance, and just kind of trial and error process until we got that counterweight to the size and weight that we needed it.
That's pretty good size. How long did it take you to construct that?
Actually, I believe that trebuchet was built in a single weekend. So that was our Friday and Saturday on campus. We built the whole thing. We were very excited to get working on it. So next thing we know, we completed it. But the trial and error process with getting it to launch a good distance and not backwards, taking down our own village. We did that a couple of times. We even hit one of our cars. That was kind of rough. But that was the big process. Building it was done in, 2 days. Actually, like, calibrating the firing path for that took a good 2 weeks of trial and error. Any more?
That's what beginning engineers do.
Yes. Yes.
How can we help you promote your event? Do you have a flyer or something?
I don't have a flyer. This is just an Earth Day event we are having on campus. The actual campus Earth Day event will be from 10 to 2 o'clock. And that's when all the clubs and societies at our college will have booths out. But in the afternoon, we do have the stargazing event, which is hosted by the physics department. So we will actually be displaying our Earth Day projects before that. So we figured that was a better available time for most people coming from work.
We'll put something out in the newsletter.
Yes, that'd be great.
Sure.
More than welcome. Bring your friends, bring your family. It's a great time.
Did you say stargazing in the afternoon?
It's in the night. The stargazing goes all deep into the night.
It's followed by the night.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood, but I was hoping it was in the afternoon because that would be kind of cool. See,
that would be exciting.
Afternoon.
It'd be hard to have a solar cooker in there. Is there anything else? All right, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
That was that's great. I'm looking forward to